you've walked with God now for years, and you've loved him, and you've served him, and you've done everything you can to get close to him, and it still feels like he's far away. We're going to explore why and what to do about it in this episode. I want to thank you for joining me. This is Matt Hallock. I'm the founder of the Man Warrior King movement, and I'm the author of the book, The DNA of a Man, and I am creator of the marriage-changing, resurrecting program, The Masculine Husband. And I am on a mission to bring Christian men alive again, to help them find themselves, to find their fire, find their passion, find their God-given identity and mission, find their masculinity. And I'm glad you've joined me. So you have spent years getting close to God and you still feel like you're missing out. Oh man, I know that feeling. I've been a Christian since I was 4. So for almost 35 years now. He and I go way back. And I lived constantly in that place. And I want you to think about with me the story here from Luke chapter 15 of the prodigal son. See, I lived as a chronic older brother. And if you know the story, then you know what I'm talking about. There's the main dude, the brother, who goes off and he squanders everything with prostitutes and everything, and he runs out of money, and he's eating with the pigs, and he says, man, it would have been better for me as a servant in my dad's house. I'm going to go back, I'm going to apologize, and I'm going to ask him if I can just be a servant, because I sure don't deserve to be a son anymore. So this son comes back home expecting to give this long apology to his father and beg and plead to be allowed to be a servant. And instead what he gets is overwhelming drowning in love. And that love drowns out the guilt and the shame. And it doesn't even give place for this son to voice his regret and his guilt and his remorse. The son doesn't even get those words out. And the father immediately showers love and gifts on him. He restores his identity with the robe. He restores his authority with the ring. He restores his right to walk the grounds with the sandals on his feet. And this son did nothing for it. I never could understand this son's story. Having been a Christian my whole life and never walking, away from God to go explore the things of the world, this one didn't ever really resonate with me. But then the story shifts and it takes us to the older brother who had never walked away from his father. And it says in Luke 15, verse 25, while his older son was in the field, and as he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things were all about. And the servant said, your brother's come home, and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has received him back safe and sound. But this older brother was angry and refused to go in. His father came out and begged with him, please come in, please come celebrate. But the son answered his father, look, these many years I've served you, and I never disobeyed your command. Yet you never gave me a young goat that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him. You can hear the bitterness and the accusation in this son's voice. You can hear the unfairness dripping from his words. This picture, this story, is really important for you when you feel like you have walked with God for years and he's never blessed you the way he has other people. There's a lot to be learned from this older brother. So, point number 1. The belief that God is withholding from you is a complete lie, even though you may feel like it. Had the brother ever gotten a fattened calf? No. So that reality would have bolstered his accusation. You've never done this for me, right? So his reality was testifying to him. Where does your reality testify to you? I've never received that kind of miracle. God's never blessed my business. God has never healed my body. God's never used me to heal that person. God's never used me to speak to the thousands. The belief that it is being withheld and kept from you is more dangerous than the fact that it hasn't happened yet. Your own belief is more at fault for that experience than God is. Because it says that he is a good father who loves giving good gifts to his children. And he takes delight in prospering us. But you've been told that he doesn't want to prosper you because that gets you close to sin. And money and prosperity and things getting too good is a recipe for you drifting away from him. That is a lie. That is a lie, lie, lie. That is from hell. Read your word. It says he delights in prospering you. Not in making you squirm. Not in holding out on you. It says if you ask for a fish, he's going to give you a fish and not a snake, some cheap substitute, some sick, twisted game where he says he answers your prayer, but it's with something completely different and worse. That's what Jesus was attacking there. But that's what we get preached from the pulpit. That sometimes that's how God answers prayer. It's lies and it's garbage. And you've got to shed that thinking. And you've got to shed the thinking that's saying, God's not helping me. God is not giving to me. I must be disqualified somehow. And the belief in your own disqualification is actually you using your legal authority to prevent blessing from flowing to you. Because your authority is so strong and powerful that it can create these realities and these roadblocks in the spirit realm that say, no, I will not be blessed by God. And we think it's God's fault when it's really ours because we're the ones who are deciding it. And how do we know this is a lie? Because when the son said, you've never given me a fattened calf, the father says, son, you're always with me. And everything that's mine is yours. And in James it says, you have not. You do not have because you do not ask. All the son had to do was ask. Maybe not even that. Maybe just go over and take. Because the father was like, it's just yours. Do whatever you want with it. There's like not even a need to ask in that case. But we haven't been taught how to take what is ours in the kingdom. We haven't been taught how to take our healing, how to take the power, how to take the authority. I don't mean take it out of God's hands. I mean just take what's being given to us. And if it makes you feel more comfortable, you can use the word received. We haven't been taught how to receive. But sometimes you've got to take. And so if you have been going through some real life, then my suggestion to you is that you get alone with God here today, right now, and you pray to him. God, I thank you that there is no distance between you and I, and that your blessings flow to me, and that you give me good gifts, perfect gifts. And what I ask for, I receive. And I am your son, who's valued and honored. And then the next point we can learn from this older brother is the danger of legalism and performance to earn rather than grace. If you are caught in that cycle of searching and searching for all the possible reasons why God is not blessing you, and you're searching for every bit of sin, every bit of underperforming, of disqualification, because you're trying to find why in the world is God far from me, so I'll have to perform better. I'll perform more. I'll serve him better. I'll please him better. I'll clean up my act better. And it doesn't always even look like you're going to go serve in church more and you're going to do all those good outer things. Maybe it just means this is an inward battle that you go through, and you try to get yourself thriving. You try to do the right stuff at home. You try to get your quiet time with him back on track to earn all the stuff, right? And the blessing is still far from you. It's because it was never designed to come to you in an ecosystem of earning, of wages. Read Romans 3 and 4. The free gift of righteousness, of grace, of blessing and favor, it is not through the works of the law. It is not by working, because then it wouldn't be a gift. It would just be what you're due, but it's a gift. It doesn't come to you through your working. And this son was like, Dad, I've served you and never disobeyed your command, but you didn't give me anything. He was saying, there is a quid pro quo that you are not upholding. I'm doing my part, God, and you're not doing yours. And the Father is saying, there is no part of yours to be done. Just have. So you might have to let go of your guilt and your shame and those things that tell you that you're not worth it to him. Those things that tell you you'll never be able to overcome because you're always less than. But you can't get a fattened calf by your performance. You have to completely change your operating system over into a gift. Dad, your generosity is beyond what I can even imagine. I would love that fattened calf. And it takes humility to receive when you don't deserve. So my suggestion to you is to get alone with God and say, God, I thank you that you give when I don't deserve. And so I thank you that I have my blessing. I may not see it yet, but it's mine because you're so generous and willing to give. And we've got to do this life in a grace operating system, not in performance. So I want you to take this and run with this. And I'll tell you, if you haven't yet, pick up the DNA of a Man. It will change your life. I've had thousands of readers and hundreds of comments and messages and everything telling me that same story. You can find the reviews online. I think it's got 4.7 stars. Pick it up. The link will be in the show notes. It's going to change your life. And please subscribe. Whether you're listening on Apple or Spotify, whether you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Please leave a comment on YouTube. If this is speaking to you, will you tell me? And will you share this episode with 5 guys that you know need it? Doesn't matter whether you're sharing it, video format, podcast format, doesn't matter. Just share it. Get it out there. Bless you.